Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are cracking open a phenomenal stack of notes that tracks a high-level adventuring party, the Red God Knights.
And they go through one of the most abrupt transitions I think we've ever seen.
It's so jarring. They go from, counting their loot after a big win to being slammed just instantly into a politically charged ambush.
The whole mission changes on a dime.
But the real story, the thing we're focusing on, is the cleric, Yrsa. Her role just violently shifts from this dedicated, life-saving medic to something else entirely.
To a terrifying engine of radiant destruction. It's a remarkable pivot. We're looking at the end of one heroic saga, rescuing this Commander Ray, and the immediate, brutal start of a high-stakes Imperial assignment.
From heroes to, what, government muscle?
Pretty much. They're about to find out if their morals can survive enforcing the Queen's financial rules.
Okay, so let's set the stage. The calm before the storm. They just finished rescuing Commander Ray. He was impaled on a crystal tree.
Yeah, and the notes are very clear here. Normally, Yrsa is the life-saving cleric in this campaign, always quick with the heal wounds or spare the dying spells.
Right. It says she used her medical skills to surgically remove the spear and then heal him. She was the essential support, the healer.
And that success came with a huge reward. I mean, a massive financial windfall, which is key to what happens next. They recovered 11,000 gold pieces just in coin.
And that's not even counting the materials. They got chunks of mithril, the super rare metal, valued at 2,500 gold.
So now we get into the logistics, which I find fascinating. This isn't just a pile of gold, it's venture capital for the party.
Exactly. A party member buys the Wand of Loch Mock internally for 1,800 gold. That works out to a clean 360 gold per person.
Then they sell the mithril chunks, again within the party, another 500 gold each.
But the big one, the real game changer, was the Ion Stone of Agility.
Oh yeah, that's a 20,000 gold piece item. It's incredibly powerful. Another party member buys it, which nets everyone else a massive 4,000 gold piece payout.
And that cash infusion is what lets them push to the next level, literally.
The Quartermaster's report shows 12 days of intensive training. The whole party levels up to 12. That's a huge power spike.
And they put that power right to work. Timidor buys a second set of wing boots. They craft a quiver of Alona, which is basically a quiver of holding.
And the party smith, Kim, makes 7 potions of greater healing. The notes point out they could have sold those for a profit, 135 gold each, but they kept them.
That's a big deal. They're stockpiling. They're thinking about self-sufficiency for what's coming, not just quick cap.
A foresight that was immediately put to the test.
Right. The books are balanced, and bam, royal summons. Baron Bart shows up and says the Red God Knights are now temporarily assigned to the Queen's chamber, the camera.
The Royal Treasury. And they get this new kind of alarming title, Vark Capper, the Queen's Champions of Treasure.
This is where their heroic fantasy just ends. Their new commander is Camerahair Magnus, the Imperial Auditor.
And the sources have this wonderful, crude nickname for him. They call him the Ass Checker.
Chuckles. Which tells you everything you need to know, right? He's the guy who scares nobles straight. The rumor is he knows whenever anyone is not telling the truth.
Which is why he needs muscle. Their first job is to be his personal guard for an audit of a Baron Neville in Zanhaven. It is explicitly about enforcing financial rules.
And this is where the pace just explodes. Magnus lays out this frantic, time-sensitive itinerary. They have to beat an impending eclipse.
Which in this world acts like a hard reset. It recharges all magic items and spell slots. So hitting that eclipse is everything.
The plan is military grade. First, a teleportation circle to Feder Corral. Then they board a ship, the NAR, for an 18 to 20-hour sail up the coast to a place called Windshar.
A windy, goblin-run town known for amber. That's the key stop.
That's where they take a long rest, let the eclipse recharge everything, and then it's a final sail to Zanhaven to meet the Baron before nightfall.
But the plan doesn't survive contact with reality.
Not for a second. The moment they teleport into Feder Corral, they're ambushed. They land on this huge 80 by 110-foot platform, basically an arena.
And they are immediately attacked by a rogue barbarian woman, wolves, and these bizarre, modern-like dice creatures, cyborgs, basically.
An organized hit.
A political assassination attempt.
Right.
The tower commander who set it up later claims he was mind-controlled,
which just shows you how deep this goes.
And this brings us right to Yrsa's transformation.
Yes, because here, apparently upset at the ambush and being riddled with arrows, Yrsa's more the cold-hearted bitch.
That's putting it mildly. Her very first action isn't healing. It's not defense. It's pure unadulterated offense. She summons her spiritual weapon, which the notes hilariously describe as a tuba or a corny. This giant, divine tuba.
And she just smashes it into the most powerful-looking cyborg, a thing called Ham, for 26 points of force damage. A huge hit.
Then she goes for area denial. She unleashes Radiance of the Dawn.
This is a massive 30-foot burst of divine power. Anyone caught in it has to make a DC 17 Constitution save, which is really high. Fail, and you take 20 points of radiant damage.
And the results were just surgically brutal. It completely incinerated the human enemies, Scourge and Ralph. They're just gone, crispy fried.
She's spiritually cleansing with fireballs, neutralizing attacks with warden flares, and outright channeling the dawn to sear away the souls from charred corpses.
But the cyborg's Ham, wings, fluffy spear were completely unaffected.
Which is critical intel, right?
Yeah.
She learned in one move that these things aren't magical. They're constructs, shielded from her radiant power. She instantly identified the real, calculated threats.
After that, she throws up her defenses. Shield of Faith, warding flares. She's making sure she can survive the counterattack to keep the pressure on.
I mean, the shift is so profound. Heck, after the melee, Herr Magnusson needs to ask her to help him with the wounded.
He has to remind her to be a healer.
Exactly. Because in that moment, she was a weapon, focused purely on neutralizing the threat, not on mitigating damage.
Those Modrons sure caught Yrsa on a bad day.
For them, anyway. This side of her is now essential for what they're walking into.
So let's look at Magnus's reaction after the fight. The party cleans up with fireballs and monk flurries. Magnus, the pragmatist.
He's a resource manager. He casts Bless and Spare the Dying on the party, but then he gives a direct order. Hold off on the healings.
Why?
Because he orders them to seize all 20 healing potions from the guards they just defeated.
That is so cynical.
It's strategically brilliant, though. He's forcing the captured to pay for this inconvenience with their own resources. He's conserving the party's spell slots. He is literally auditing their magic.
Wow. That tells you everything about the world they're in now. Okay, so moving to the investigation right after. They find a perfect duplicate of Magnus, just inert, in the tower.
And it's not magical. The notes say it's sophisticated cinematronics, a construct. It's the same tech as the Modrons that attack them.
This is a technological threat, not a mystical one. Magnus immediately stuffs the duplicate into his portable hole for later study.
This was a highly targeted, very sophisticated hit. Someone went to incredible non-magical lengths to get to the Queen's auditor.
The party inventories the rest. 5 cyborg bits wiring and microchips worth 2,000 gold total, and a magical quiver of endless arrows.
And you get this great moment of dark humor. The commander who set up the ambush is now super apologetic and tries to bribe them with ale, cider, and a barrel of apples.
And Timidor immediately inspects the apples for hidden Modrons.
Which just shows you the non-magical threat is what really stuck with them.
So they finally get to Windchar, rest during the eclipse, and recharge. They even do a little PR work in the Goblin Town.
Yeah, Timidor casts Stonewall on their flimsy houses in exchange for some amber.
Yeah.
Solidifying that government helper image.
And then finally, Zanhaven, Baron Neville's turf, a human and sheep settlement.
Magnus sends the party in first. His instruction is simple. Mill about and look for anything that might be magic.
The party splits up. The ape, Kitty Wampus, scouts the perimeter. The monk, Sean, gets into this bizarre dancing ritual with a guest named Von Finkel in a room with an automatic music player.
While Yrsa and Kim get to the real work, they use detect magic.
And their findings are absolutely crucial. Von Finkel, the dancer, has a magic stiletto and a magic ring. A servant has a magic staff and scimitar.
But the main target, Baron Neville himself, he seems magic. He's radiating illusion magic.
Yeah.
Disguise self. The guy they're auditing isn't even showing them his real face.
And they confirm a non-magical threat, too. Susan, the cook, is a suspected spy for a rival baron. And crucially, she does not radiate any magic.
So they've got technological constructs, a mundane spy, and an illusion-shrouded noble. The threats are coming from every angle.
And the final piece, they find a magical looking glass. An enchanted picture frame showing a moving scene. It's a scrying device.
A surveillance tool. And the monk just takes it with him. They are now actively running counterintelligence.
So to pull this all together, the Red God Knights went from admin cleanup to surviving a political hit. They've identified a sophisticated, non-magical Modron conspiracy and confirmed their target is using powerful illusions to hide his identity.
And we have to come back to Yrsa.
Fine.
She entered this as a compassionate medic who saved Commander Ray with surgical precision. But the second she was attacked, she deployed Radiance of the Dawn and her spiritual weapon with a brutal, cold-hearted efficiency. She's now a primary offensive asset, ready for political warfare.
Which leaves us with this final, critical question for you to think about. The greatest danger here wasn't the magic-immune Modrons or the Barbarian. It was the deep political and financial corruption that required an auditor, the Ash Checker, in the first place. So now that his security detail is on site, they have to decide, are they just the Queen's muscle, following orders, or is their audit a deep dive into genuine treason, hidden not just by top-grade illusions, but by mundane constructs and non-magical spies that are so much harder to detect?